And what's up, everybody, and welcome back to Celluloid Psychosis. I am your host, TJ Bowser, and joining me as always is the very handsome, the very British, Mr. Paul Ashford. What's up, buddy?
Hello, TJ. I am fantastic. I'm great. It's Halloween season, man. I'm
It
good.
is.
Yeah, man. I've had a good week. Uh, Started off Halloween season by going to a friend's house to watch some horror movies. Introduced my friends to Trick or Treat, the 2007 version of Little Sam. We also watched Basket Case. Had a great time. Uh, Went to a Halloween Scream Park on Sunday night. That was really good fun. Um, Ended up doing this thing called The Exorcism, which is it was like a 15-minute theatrical experience where you sit down and watch a live exorcism of actors. It was very, very cool, very scary. Lots of use of really cool props in the dark. Really enjoyed it. And then last night I went to a play, uh, Life Spirit or Belief Spirit. Noel Coward, a real old school British play about ghosts, which is really good. So yeah, Halloween is in full swing for me. Having a great time, and that's pretty much been my week. What about you?
Man, it's been busy at work as always, just completely
Hmm.
flat out, and I just can't ever get a break. But you know what? I had Sunday and Tuesday off, and I got a lot done at home. Not really. I just sat around and slept all day. I needed it, Paul. Okay, I've had a
Hmm.
sick dog here at the house, and it's just been shitting everywhere, and it's been a literal nightmare. So I've kind of gotten through that. We're on the better
Hmm.
side of it, and we're just kind of chugging along at this point. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
No real physical media pickups on my end. I don't really think. Am I mistaken, Paul? I don't think I've really gotten anything recently. No, I'm kind of waiting for them Vincent movies to come in. They should be shipping
Hmm.
any time now. Super excited about all of that. Like Paul said, Halloween is approaching. The leaves have fallen. It is cold. It is hell outside. It is hoodie weather, sweater weather, flannels. It's time to do all that stuff. And of course, watch Halloween H2O because what is a better way to celebrate?
Watch
So
Trick or Treat.
that's a good one too. We're talking about Paul's pick this week, and now this movie has been on the lips, the tongues of many people on social media as of recently, because this movie was something hard to watch as of recently. I mean, what? No, like since it came out, honestly, there
Hmm.
hasn't been any really good release of it, and that is 1983's Something Wicked This Way Comes. What makes this unique is it's based on a Ray Bradbury novel, and he actually did the screenplay, and it lends itself to a very unique film. Paul, you want to talk about it and why you picked this?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, should we go through who's in it? So yeah, directed by Jack Clayton, written by Ray Bradbury, as you've just mentioned. This stars Jason Robards as Charles Halloway, Ellen Gear as Mrs. Galloway. We have Vidal Peterson as Will Galloway. Sean Carson as Jim Nightshade. What a cool name.
Nice.
Jonathan Price as Mr. Dark. Royal Dano as Tom Fury. And Pam Grier as the Dust Witch.
Is Royal Dano Paul Dano's grandfather?
I don't know.
That'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. So, what's the plot of this? Uh, Something Wicked This Way Comes is a dark fantasy film based on Ray Bradbury's novel. Set in a small Midwestern town, it follows two young boys, Will Holloway and Jim Nightshade, whose lives change when a mysterious carnival arrives, led by the sinister Mr. Dark. The carnival grants townspeople their deepest desires at a terrible cost. As temptation spreads, Will's father, Charles, must find the courage to confront his fears and save his son. Blending horror, nostalgia, and moral reflection, the film explores the dangers of wish fulfillment and the power of love and goodness against evil's seductive allure.
Dun dun dun! Yeah. So, Paul, where'd you hear about it? Why'd you pick it?
Well, this is a film I didn't actually watch until for the first time until last year.
Okay.
It's a film I've heard about. And like you've already mentioned, it's a film that's kind of been hard to get hold of for a very long time. Um, I just used to see it mentioned in reviews of other films like Halloween season films, or people talking about good spooky films, or family friendly horror films.
Mhm.
I used to see it mentioned, and I was like, "Oh, it's got a really cool title." And oh, Disney, that's cool. But it was just never ever. You could never see it anywhere. I could never rent it or anything, or I never saw it on DVD or anything like that. So it's one of those films I just used to hear about and hear how dark it was for a Disney film. And then finally last year, I got to see it for the first time ever, and I was super impressed. I was like, "Wow, this is proper Halloween style, proper get you in the mood for autumn Halloween style season." And it was actually a really well made, cool film. It's always kind of been in the back of my mind since I saw it last year, and then obviously it suddenly appeared on Disney Plus in the last month or so, and suddenly everyone's talking about it again. I was like, "Oh wow, cool! It'd be a really good choice for us to talk about." And you said you'd never seen it yourself, so
Never even heard of it.
yeah. So yeah, it's another thing. It's just not obviously. So when it came out, it it bombed massively at the cinema. I think it said it had a 19 million budget, and I think it didn't even make 2 million at the box office. Um, a lot of trouble in production. There was apparently arguments between director and Ray Bradbury, changes to the script. Wasn't happy with the changes, etc. Disney didn't know what to do with it because it's like, oh, this isn't family friendly like they used to. They're like, how do we market it? Kind of did not find an audience at all when it was first released.
Mhm.
Um, but apparently there's a director's cut out there, so they re-edited it. Took it, I think, an extra 4 months or something. I read to re-edit it because the
Wow.
test audiences did not like it. They added some more effects and stuff, and then released it. It bombed, and apparently got it started to get a bit of a cult following when it hit VHS. Um, but and to this day, I believe it's never been shown on UK television.
Yes, according to a specific website.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's just a film that I mean, you will make when you think Disney, you think, oh yeah, I'm not really, that's not me very scary or anything like that. So
Mm.
I guess a lot of people thought that. I thought that myself. But yeah, man, it's a cool film, really cool film.
Dude,
Uh,
it's strange, you know. And like I said, and
mhm,
we discussed a little bit before the show started. It feels very Lynchian, and
mhm,
what I mean by that is it has that fantasy fairy tale element, like some of his
yeah,
movies have, but also has that very deeply disturbing, just under the surface thing that's also very present in films like Blue Velvet and things like that. And that's like a thing that goes on throughout this movie, and it
mhm,
has little points in it where you're like, "Oh my god!" And by the end, it's very, very disturbing. And then, of
mhm.
course, if you add on this, carny element to the whole thing, it just makes it very, very strange.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, I love I just love the whole theme of it, like the whole atmosphere. It's just, I mean, straight off the bat, when the film, you get the really cool sort of handwritten titles, and then it goes straight into a massive field of like full of pumpkins. I think they said there's 10,000 pumpkins to pick, and it's it just looks amazing, and it's this real little old town, real sort of typical, almost like a was it like a Midwestern, almost like a Wild West town, but it's like I don't know what era this film's set in. It's I'm guessing by the way they dress, it's got to be. Is it early 1900s? Do you think? I think it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, I'd say, or like 1940s Midwest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know
that
what I
sort of thing.
mean? Like
It's
it's
not. They didn't really say, do they? But they just,
unspecified time.
yeah. But it's obviously, yeah.
There's
It's
electricity, right?
yeah. There's
Yeah.
electricity. There's steam train. There's a big steam train in there. But yeah, I don't think you see. There's no TVs or anything, is there? But it's just the way they dress, and that is a real old school. But yeah, it starts off as a real nice sort of Disney. It's got like a for me, it's got like a haunted mansion feel to it, like the haunted
Mhm.
mansion ride, not the film, but the ride at Disney. Especially the character. Dust Witch just reminds me of I forgot what her name is, Madam, whatever her name is from the Haunted Mansion ride. It's got that same sort of vibe, but it's just beautifully made. It looks amazing. It's obviously because it's Disney. There's obviously got a big budget for it. They put a lot of money into it. The actors in the movie, they're all really good. I said, I think I said to you, it's very. I thought, wow, it's real Dano in a Disney movie. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I know him from stuff like Killer Clowns, Ghoulies 2, load of sort of 80s horror stuff that he did. But obviously, he was more well known for all the Western films he did back in his day. But he has got another Disney link I found. He is actually the voice of Abraham Lincoln in the is it the President's Hall of Fame at Disney World?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where you get like all the animatronics, and apparently he was personally chosen by Walt Disney to do the voice, and they still use his voice to this day. So I thought that's pretty cool. Nice little Disney link there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what a film! It's strange, like you said. It's like a Disney family movie, but it's got some really dark undertones in it, some real dark subjects. So you get this beautiful little town, Halloween season, picking pumpkins, and then the fair comes to town, and it comes at like the middle of the night, doesn't it, on like a steam train. And there's just that really weird scene where Mr. Dark is handing out the flyers for the fair. He's just walking through the town, throwing them into the air, and like the wind's blowing around everywhere. It's just really spooky. And then you get all the townspeople. They get sort of seduced by
So
the
essentially,
Arnie folk.
the Carney folk, they give this Hall of Mirrors. So essentially, this is
Yeah.
how you trick a lot of these characters. So throughout the
Mhm.
film, you're introduced to this cast of characters, and there are a
Mhm.
lot of like, I don't know how do you want to say that, disabled people, folks, or old, dealing with some sort of plight of their
Yeah.
own. Okay, and throughout the film, these characters are lured to this carnival because the carnival, and then throughout that they discover that like the Hall of Mirrors can give them the illusion, or sometimes in this case give them what they want. In the
It's what they
case
wish
of,
for, isn't it? Yeah.
the guy who was a football player who lost his arm and his leg
Yeah.
suddenly regresses back to his youth and has his arm and his leg. The
Mhm.
lady who is old but used to be very beautiful becomes young again. Now, some of these come with caveats. Like
Oh, they all
again,
do, don't they? Yeah.
that kid, the guy, well, the older guy couldn't have his arm and leg back, but he had to be young. The lady, in order to be young and beautiful again, couldn't have her sight. So there's very
Mhm.
like dark, kind of scary things in here, and there's always like something they have to give up in return for this. And
Yeah.
then also there's this carousel that plays a role in this movie, and it's never really determined what all this carousel is capable of. And then of course then there's
Mhm.
this really weird horse scene at the end that kind of alludes to that the carousel horses were real, maybe. I don't know. But so this carousel, depending on whether it's going forwards or backwards, could age or de-age somebody,
Yep. Yep.
uh, or make them, in the case of, I don't know. See, I'm very uncertain. So there's a scene in this movie where Mr. Dark takes his henchman. And this guy's like
Oh,
six
yeah.
foot seven, right?
Like Mr.
He
Cougar, is it, or something?
Mr. Cougar, yes.
Yeah.
And then he gets him to go on this said carousel, and they go backwards and turns him into this red-headed little kid. Now,
A
this
creepy little kid.
the crazy thing is I don't know if the older lady in this movie was under the spell and that's why she thought it was her nephew, or if
Mm.
he turned Mr. Dark turned this guy specifically into her
Yeah.
nephew. So it's very undetermined
Yeah.
why, how, and all that stuff fits into place. But it lends itself to a very brilliant scene where we
Mhm.
see our two young heroes, which is Jim and Charles, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Meet this young, well, the older teacher lady who we see at the beginning, and
Yeah.
she refers to them as her whisperers
My
throughout.
whisperers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She brings them introduce them to her nephew. And of course, they have been purview to watching Mr. Cougar turn into the nephew prior to this.
Mhm.
So we get a really excellent scene where they get to introduce to each other, and it's like the strangest standoff ever. They just stare at each other and don't say a word. And then
Mhm.
like the lady's like, "Oh, okay, well, it's just very odd. The whole
Mhm.
movie is very odd. Uh, another scene that really sticks out for me is the lady. I think it's the Dust Witch, encased
Yeah.
in the clear like
Oh,
glass
like
thing.
the ice or something, is
Yeah,
it?
the ice thing almost. And she's on display for the town. And that's almost like a way for them to build hype for the carnival coming to town or to have
Yeah.
people come to the carnival. So they see this lady and get like some sort of general attraction to go.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was strange. I didn't
Very
understand that
strange.
bit.
But
Mhm.
it was also itself very creepy. The
Yeah.
way that they filmed it, the way that they added music to it, is they took
Mhm.
something that seemed very dismissive and made it very deeply dark, disturbing.
Yeah,
I
yeah. I
I
like
really
Mr.
continue.
I was gonna say I like Mr. Crosetti, the barber guy. He's just weird and creepy from the offset. So obviously
Very
when
pervy.
yeah, very pervy,
Yeah.
introduced to Charles Halloway, the dad, and
Yeah.
he's obviously walking through his lovely town, and then Mr. Crosetti goes, Do you smell it? Do you smell it? It's the smell of girl's perfume and did he say candy floss? I think, and he's just like he's very sort of yeah. He's like, oh, I long to be with a woman and all this stuff, and he's like, oh, okay, he's a bit strange. And then he says that his wish is to like be with a beautiful woman. And he's just very almost a bit flamboyant, but very sort of sweaty and strange. And then obviously he goes to the carnival himself, doesn't he? And then he sees the fortune teller, which turns out to be the Dust Witch,
Mhm.
and she's touching his hand and reading out his fortune, saying he's going to meet lots of beautiful women, and he's just sweating, and he's got this big mustache and he's sweating. It just looks really weird. And then obviously he goes off to the big dancing girl sort of strip show at the
Oh,
carnival,
that is a funny scene.
and he
Hey,
just
that's
gets
only for
surrounded,
adults,
doesn't
kid.
he? Yeah, yeah. You come back in 10 years.
He's in there with like what looks like Persian women of some
Yeah,
sort.
yeah. And then
And
the
they're
main
just like
woman,
rubbing him indiscriminately, and he's just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
oh."
And I'm sure that's Pam Grier again, isn't it? As the main woman that grabs him. She
Mhm,
just appears as all the, she is like the evil countess kind of thing in this movie. She grabs him, and then you don't see him again
mhm.
until the town parade when the carnies I call them parading through the village to the town to promote their carnival, and you see him. I presume it is him. It doesn't say it specifically it's him, but it's a guy dressed as a woman, like a bearded lady.
Yeah.
And I guess he's had his wish, but he's been turned himself into like a beautiful woman. Uh, but that is that whole scene is creepy because you mentioned about the characters. Say that's Mr. Crosetti, the barber. We got Mr. Tetley, the tobacconist shop guy,
Uh-huh.
the real guy. He wants to win loads of money. Um,
One of our heroes, Tom Fury, we really haven't talked about him much. He's a
no,
traveling lightning rod salesman that you really were dismissive of. I mean, Paul talked about him briefly
hmm
because it's the thing, but he kind of comes into this town and you see him doing a sales pitch throughout the film. And then he
yeah,
interacts with our two younger hero
yeah, yeah,
characters and he sells one to Jim. Now,
yeah,
this becomes a very important focal point of the film
hmm
because lightning and rain will reveal the true nature of the carnival folk, especially
yeah,
Mr. Dark.
hmm
So these lightning rods are a tool for the town folk as a way to fight back. And we first get a glimpse of this when we get a really, really excellent special effects shot of the scarab lightning rod on
yeah,
top of, well, fixed on top of the Nightshade house,
yeah.
getting struck by, is it struck by lightning?
They're struck by lightning. Yeah,
And then the fog, which we were told earlier in the film, which comes from Mr. Dark, it
hmm
was overtaking the house. And Charles, who sees this, I believe for some reason, or is he already over at Jim's house? I can't remember how that
they're at the house.
transaction happened.
This is when the spiders appear, right?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
tarantula scene.
yeah,
We
yeah. Trenches, yeah.
So I can't remember exactly the logistics of it, but
hmm
Jim and Charles are in the same room, and we get treated again to a really cool VFX shot, and that
Hmm.
is the roof splitting and a bunch of tarantulas coming out. Uh, the boys deal with tarantulas differently. It kind of reflects on how their characters in general
Yeah.
are. But because of that, it kind of gave them a little forewarning and a little bit. Somehow the lightning rod helped them. It alludes to that the lightning rod saved them.
Yeah.
Now, later in the film, we'll see Tom Fury use the lightning rods to ultimately defeat the
Hmm.
Mr. Dark character and the rest of
Oh,
the bag.
no, he defeat not Mr. Dark. It's the Dust Witch, isn't it?
The Dust Witch. That's
Obviously,
correct.
there's a
Sorry.
scene where the Dust Witch electrocutes Tom.
Homegirl gets impaled
Yeah.
by a lightning rod, and there
Yeah.
is no blood.
No. To be fair, she electrocuted him.
Yeah, the electrocution scene,
It's pretty
another
brutal.
really random, like, oh, we're just gonna strap this guy down and electrocute the shit out of him and have kids watch.
And then
Okay.
we'll parade him through town on the electric chair
Yes.
as part of the carnival. And no one in the town's going to say anything about it. They're just, it's fine. And there's so I mentioned Mr. Tetley, the tobacconist. He does that when you're introduced to him. He sells a cigar to Charles, and then he's got that weird thing that lights the cigar. It's like a metal hand that like swings out, like a brass hand or something. But he says a weird line, which apparently it was a common thing in old times. Is it Cuban cigars are rolled on Cuban girls' thighs?
Oh,
I
yes.
can't remember the exact line, but he says it.
I do want one of
Um,
them lighters, though, on the hand.
yeah, the hand. But he says, like it's obviously a Cuban cigars rolled
Oh,
on the
that guy's
thighs of
plight was
Cuban
all he could
women.
do is think about money.
Yeah. So he's like desperate for money. He's talking about money. He's
Yeah.
when I get lots of money, I'll be selling the Cuban
And
cigars.
that's right, they take him out. So we get an awesome scene where they take the cigar shop owner and they get him in the carnival, and they're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, you want a bunch of money?"
yeah,
And they give him like this really expensive cigar and put him
yeah.
on
It's
the
exact, and he
Ferris
gives
wheel,
Mr. Cougar gives him that exact same line, doesn't he? Oh,
yes,
this is the finest Cuban cigar rolled on the finest
appealing
girl
directly
thighs.
to his ill
Yeah,
nature.
yeah.
So he goes onto this Ferris wheel again. All these rides have some sort of thing to them.
And
This
who's he sit next to on the Ferris wheel?
Dustwitch.
Yes.
He goes to the top, disappears, and when she comes back down, nothing.
Yeah. But then you see him, right? In the carnival parade. This is my
Yes.
fault.
He's
He's
the guy with the
Indian.
Indian guy.
So yeah, that was, again, a bit of a Creepshow reference. But outside of his tobacconist shop is like a wooden, like, chief
Indian.
Indian, and I believe that was him walking the
Indigenous
parade.
person.
There's like a guy walking like a wooden Indian in the parade, and I presume that was him. Again, it's kind of left a bit open. You're kind of guessing, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that was him.
Because you don't really see some of this. Like you see
No.
some of it alluded to and then it cuts. It's definitely the Disney thing. Like there's not a lot of violence on screen, with the exclusion of somebody getting impaled, electrocuted, and all the other things. Like it's dark, man. Like, what is
Yeah.
going on? And now, upon reading on it, the movie was $20 million,
Mhm.
1983. Now, I wonder what that is adjusted for modern times. Because, Paul, it only made $8 million back.
Yeah, that's not good. It's not good. But like I said, I think just Disney, they wouldn't have known how to market it at all. I mean, and probably compared to some of today's Disney films that have just bombed, it's nothing. It's probably
Yeah.
they probably long to make that sort of money from a film. Currently, maybe that's why it's suddenly appeared on streaming. Maybe they're suddenly looking at their back catalog and going, "Oh, let's start releasing stuff."
Yeah,
That
so if that
people
movie
are
was
hitting.
made today, it cost $62 million.
Wow. I think if it was released today, it would do a lot better. It would do a lot
Okay.
better.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, we as viewers have definitely grown a lot since '83, and this film, like, apparently, especially from its resurgence, people have grown to appreciate it for what this
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
and it's definitely one of those films that I can see starting to become some of these people's like Halloween staples.
Oh yeah.
It has a really good Halloween feel.
Mhm.
The settings and not really what I'm trying to say. The set pieces. The set pieces
Yeah.
in this movie, exquisite. The
Mhm.
pumpkin patch scene at the beginning, awesome.
Mhm.
The library,
Oh,
phenomenal
yeah.
set.
Yeah.
So good. We don't see a lot of it, but
Mhm.
everything that we see shot inside, great stuff.
Mhm.
I love the grating on the floor. So whenever Mr. Dark's walking, you're hearing the metal, you're seeing the lights and everything. It's just
Mhm.
so very, very cool. And then there's also this reoccurring gag in the movie, and I don't know if you picked up on this. It's that when we see our two young characters hiding in various times throughout the film, they get caught. Where a lot of these movies they don't. We always see the hands coming up over top, looming
Okay.
for
Yep.
a second, then grabbing and lifting.
Yep.
And it's something we see several times throughout the movie. And it's
I
just something
didn't
I've
think
never
of it.
really seen or noticed before in other
Mhm.
films, but it's purposely done several times here to emphasize these children being manhandled by adults. And there's some
Yeah.
sort of dichotomy here between the adults and the children, especially with youth and age, because the older character, the father of
Charles.
Charles, is an
Yeah. Oh,
older
Charles'
guy,
father. Yeah.
and he's
Yes.
constantly battling with his bad heart and the fact that he's
Mhm.
older. He's
Yeah.
definitely an older dad where all the other kids have younger
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah.
So he's not able to do things. And
And
that's
he's like,
really
yeah.
highlighted in a scene where he says that in the past, Charles fell into the water,
Mhm.
almost drowned, and Jim's dad, who is mysteriously gone, which I hoped would appear at the end for some reason. What was his name again? Tommy Nightshade?
Jim Nightshade, wasn't it? Was his
No,
dad?
Jim's dad.
Oh,
Was
Jim's
it Jim?
Jim Nightshade is the kid.
And then his dad.
Uh,
It doesn't really
I
say
didn't
because we
catch
don't
his
see
dad.
him.
Mr. Nightshade, yeah.
Yeah, his father anyway saved Charles and then disappeared shortly after that. Now we see his dad eventually reconcile that by the end of the film,
Yeah.
but there's definitely some sort of youth versus like older folk type thing going on here
Yeah.
because the interactions between the father and son are very, very uncomfortable.
Mhm.
He's trying to coach his son the best way he can, but you can tell that there's a disconnect
Yeah.
because of the age gap.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very, very interesting to watch, and I
Mhm.
love that you get to see a progression of it throughout the film, and kind of then ultimately leading to the acceptance of both of their situations.
Yeah. So I haven't read the book, but I believe I read the supposedly Nightshade's dad was killed by Mr. Dark
I assumed as
the
much.
first time round that they came this carnival came to town.
Mhm.
I'm sure I read that, but I haven't read the book, so that was just something I read on.
Well,
So
that would
that's
make
pretty
sense.
cool. Yeah, pretty cool concept. And obviously, yeah, near the end when Charles is tackling Mr. Dark, he realizes that yeah, he came to this town before and killed a load of the townsfolk.
Yes.
So when they kind of start putting two together and realizing what's going on. But yeah, you mentioned that library there. A couple of my very favorite lines from the movie are in that library scene.
Mhm.
Um, and that's from Charles, the dad, the old dad. He goes, "By the pricking of my thumb, something wicked this way comes."
Which
I think
is
that's so cool.
taken from a Shakespeare
Yeah,
story,
play.
Macbeth,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Act 4
Wow.
of
So
Macbeth.
that's really cool. And then in that same interaction with Mr. Dark, he's just obviously like he just goes, "We butter our plain bread with delicious pain." I just thought that was cool. That's when they're looking for the boys. They're looking for Nightshade.
So this director is a big adaptation guy. He also did the 1974 adaptation of The Great Gatsby.
Mm.
Yes,
And he's
very
also
misspelled.
British.
Yes,
I saw
very
he'd done a
British.
lot of earlier films, like was it
Mhm.
60s, 70s stuff, like real old stuff. But he wasn't on. I forgot who the original director was going to be, but they had someone else in mind at one point, just
Mhm.
from reading stuff
And
online.
I think Clayton was very
Cool.
unhappy with this movie, wasn't he? Like there were some problems
Yeah, yeah,
going on behind the
he
scenes.
had a falling out with Ray Bradbury, I know, and also yeah, the test from what I've heard, the test screenings didn't go well, and they had to re-edit it. So his cut wasn't the one that was released. So I
Mhm.
mean, again, that's just crying out for a beautiful.
Bradbury called it not a great film, but a decently nice one. Good way to describe it.
Yeah,
Very, very, very.
yeah. But yeah, what it's just I'd love to see us get a physical media release. Whack on the director's cut as well, 4K, beautiful.
Mhm.
Love to see some interviews with any of the surviving cast. Which there is obviously Jonathan Pryce went on to do a lot of. Who's Mr. Dark went on to do loads of stuff. He's still doing stuff today. He's 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 very well known, at least in England, doing a lot of stuff. So that's cool. Obviously Pam Grier still around as well. Again, and we didn't really mention Pam Grier. Seeing her in a Disney film is just super weird as well. Obviously, she's more well known for all the sort of exploitation stuff, and then the Tarantino stuff and that.
Will is the young kid, not Charles. We're silly.
Oh,
Charles is the dad.
Charles is
Will
the
is the
dad.
young
Yeah,
kid. The
they're all
Halloways.
Halloways. They're all Halloways.
Yeah.
Will and
Have
Jim.
you seen that kid in anything else?
No.
Will?
No.
I have.
So I did look at IMDb. Jim Nightshade was in Deep Space Nine.
The TV series.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he Will Robinson?
No, I forgot. Yeah, it has a weird name. I've never really seen Deep Space Nine. It was I'm guessing he was an alien.
Deep Space Nine or Lost in Space?
Deep Space Nine, definitely Star Trek.
Oh, it was Star Trek. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Will Galloway. He's done some other stuff, but not too much. So yeah, I wouldn't recognize him. So apparently he had to bleach his hair blonde for the film.
Oh, that's always nice.
Yeah.
Oh, he's also in the movie The Funhouse, dude.
Oh, Toby Hooper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joey Harper, 1981. He's a kid in that movie.
There you go. He's a kid in this movie.
He did that 2 years before that.
So he's done 2 super creepy films. Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, poor old Ed the bartender. I didn't mention him. He was like obviously used to be like a NFL football player, superhero guy.
Yes.
Lost his leg and his arm. He still manages to play a bit. He can still throw a ball, doesn't he? Because obviously there's a scene where Charles Holloway enters the bar and they throw the ball back and forth. And then sure enough, he obviously misses the big time. He'd love to have his leg and arm back, and then sure enough, he goes to the Hall of Mirrors. There it is, and then he disappears. But then again,
for a little bit.
Yeah, well, then you see he disappears completely, and then you see at the Great Parade again. There's a kid with the exact same clothes, throws the ball same way to Charles, and Charles like, what on earth is going on here? What the hell is going on? He obviously knows that is Ed, and again, it's just super creepy. But you don't see him.
The tension when the kids are in the sewer. Oh my god.
Yeah, when they're hunting for him. Yeah. Yeah, and it's good then that his dad believes him. He knows something. So he's like, meet me in the library. Because even his dad because when he rings his dad, he's like, Dad, you need to come and help us. He's like, well, son, just get yourself home. I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, things changed pretty quickly. But yeah, the ending's pretty wild, right? So obviously, yeah.
You want to say that?
Yeah, he captures the kids.
Yes.
So again, there's another thing you talk about the old age of his dad, and then there's a little bit of an age difference between Will and Jim. And at one point, Mr. Dark's trying to get Jim or Nightshade,
be a little bit older than Will.
Yeah, to go on the carousel or the merry-go-round as we call over here, and get himself a bit older. So he's trying to tempt him to get on the merry-go-round. Yeah, it's just wild. But obviously, what happens with the merry-go-round when they challenge Mr. Dark and they stick him on the merry-go-round then, don't they? And it just goes round crazy. And
he gets electrocuted, right?
Yeah, and then put onto the carousel. He gets
shocked the shit out of to the point where all of his life force gets drained out of him and revives all the people and souls.
Yeah, basically what happens is Mr. Dark he's going to kill. He's got the kid Will trapped in this labyrinth of like a mirror maze, isn't it? And then he's got his dad there, and he's going to kill his dad. And his dad's like really beaten down. That's why he's the mirror showing his dad getting older and older and older. Also, his fear is getting old because he's already old. Um, and he's trying to get his dad, and then it cuts to the scene of the water, and he's like super old, and his kid's drowning. He can't save him. It's like really fighting with his fears, and then suddenly, Will is trying to save him, and all he does is go, "Dad, I love you," and then it just changed, and it like love
Yeah,
breaks
all
through
of a sudden we're
essentially.
back in the glass house thing.
Yeah, all the glass starts to shatter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that
You can
one
tell
that
all the
one
budget
scene of
went into
love.
the ending.
Yeah, that one scene of love suddenly breaks free, and that's when kind of his dad regains his powers, and that's when he electrocutes the crap out of Mr. Dark.
Yeah.
And then it kind of breaks the power, doesn't it? And at the same time,
Releases
Tom
everybody.
Fury, Tom
Yeah.
Fury, yeah, Tom. Well, you say everybody. We only really see Tom Fury, didn't we? Get released, and then he gets his rod, and like you said,
Messes up the dust.
impales
Yeah.
Dust Witch, kills her. She kind of electrifies and disappears. And then the final scene is rescuing Nightshade from Mr. Dark, and then they stick him on the carousel, and they like put it at super speed, so he gets super old, and that transformation is crazy, especially for a Disney film.
I love the little person waddling up,
Yeah,
grabbing them, and just
yeah, and
carrying
just
off a
walks off
dead
again.
body, just dragging
Yeah,
this
a
dead body
corpse,
along, and it's just a corpse.
but the
And you
corpse
get,
just gets old and old. It's like a real shrunken little old man corpse. It just gets older and older, doesn't it? It's quite scary,
he's
especially
like
for
the classic ringleader for the carnival type thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
The little
But
person, the ringleader, funny as
yeah,
stuff.
and that little guy was actually in the movie Freaks, the Todd
Oh, that
Browning
makes
Freaks.
sense.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
okay, writing character.
Um, and yeah, that's just transformation scene of Mr. Dark into the corpses is horrible. You just see little flashes of the mirror as it goes around. He's getting older and older, shrinking, and then eventually he's just like a shriveled little corpse, blump on the floor. And apparently, that whole transformation scene was done by Stan Winston.
That makes sense.
Yeah, which
That
is
would
super
make
cool.
a lot of sense.
Um, but yeah, wow, what an ending! And
What a
then
movie.
the little dwarf carries him off, his corpse, and then it kind of cuts to Charles and Jim and Will kind of being happy and enjoying life again. They go back to town and they're like skipping around, but you don't hear anything about the townsfolk, so you kind of only presume that they're all dead.
Mhm.
They're all dead.
Well, you got to watch the sequel. Something more wicked this way comes.
Yeah, yeah. Or read the book, I
Then the
guess.
trilogy, something even more wicked this way comes.
Absolutely, yeah. And I didn't mention. I got serious Ghoulies 2 vibes from this film.
Well, the cast helps.
Yeah, so we had
And the setting.
Royal Dano is obviously in Ghoulies 2.
Carnival.
Carnival guy in Ghoulies 2, he gets
Evil
electrocuted.
satanic stuff going on.
Yeah, he gets electrocuted to death in Ghoulies 2. He gets electrocuted in this film as well. And got the evil carnival. You've got the dancing girls have got quite a big part in this because they lead to the death of one other
Every
guy.
movie needs to have dancing girls.
And one thing I didn't know until going through IMDb is Phil Fondacaro is uncredited in this film as a
Yeah.
demon clown. So I presume he was one of the little evil clown guys that go through the procession with Mr. Dark when they come to town. So yeah,
Jesus.
probably something else why I love this film so much because it just felt like a lot like Goodies 2 to me.
You are right at home, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this movie, as we said, is on Disney Plus right now after being
Hmm.
in exile. Hell, there was a Blu-ray release of it, I want to say last year on the secondary markets going for over $100. That was part of the Disney Video Club when it still existed. If you really want the movie that bad, go ahead and try to find that thing on eBay. Or I mean, you're gonna get scalped either way. I hope,
Hmm.
like Paul said, there's a 4K release of it sometime soon. But who
Hmm.
knows what company's gonna work with Buena Vista of all people to release this, and ultimately Disney. Disney has a chokehold, stranglehold, if you want to say, over their property. So I don't really see anything like this happening. But then again, Criterion did just release two Searchlight picture movies with the kind of, is it Searchlight? Kind of Disney adjacent with Asteroid City and The French Dispatch, which I believe were released through a Disney channel, like
Hmm.
one of the Disney subsidiaries. So interesting to see. Maybe Criterion would be a great option for this, only because this movie screams their type of catalog. And then, like I said, it's very Lynchian. So if you're like a
Yeah.
fan of like Wild at Heart, this movie's going to feel right on par with stuff like that. It's not as raunchy, but it's just as dark, I'd say.
It also, I reckon it'd be a good film if you got kids and you want to get them into
Yeah,
horror. It's a good
but
like
a little bit old.
introduction to
Don't show
horror.
too younger because some of this stuff is very graphic, especially
Yeah.
the skeleton stuff at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say probably preteens. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Something akin to
Yeah.
like a Goosebumps episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes.
So, what would you rate this, Paul, out of 5 bag of bones?
4.5.
4.5. You know what? I'm going to
Yeah.
go 4 out of 5 bag of bones. Great movie, tremendous effects, different, very, very different, and one that I'll remember for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's just not the standard film, you know, and it's
No.
paced well, hour and 30 minutes. You're in and you're out.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting, memorable characters. You actually care about them, and it's good stuff. Paul?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I love it. Feels very old school. I love the old school effects. I already mentioned that. It's like the matte paintings in the backgrounds and stuff when you see the carnival set up. And there's real sort of old school effects, like when they're electrifying Tom Fury.
Yeah.
Tommy Fury is a boxer. That's why I'm getting mixed up. And like the dust switch face get like electrifies, like goes blue, and it's almost like it's cartoon painted over the top.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. I just love that old school feel. Yeah, it's just a weird, dark Disney film, but it's kind of almost family friendly as well.
It's cool. It's unique.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's neat. And I recommend it to any of you listening. So if you like this podcast and want to listen to other ones just like this one, head on over to www.projectlouder.net or anywhere else you consume audio-only content, but that is included but not limited to YouTube, Blueberry, Spotify, Amazon. And speaking of Amazon, if you scan that QR code in the corner, that is an Amazon affiliate link that will send some bucks to Paul and I and help keep the show going. So if you want to buy some physical media, use that code right there and help the show. And we'll talk about said physical media because that's what we do here, folks. And we love doing it. Now, we will be back the same bat channel next week, Wednesday, Tuesday, probably Wednesday. It all depends on what Paul has going on. Isn't that right, Paul?
Absolutely. I think I'm free Wednesday. Yeah, I think Wednesday's good.
Excellent. Then expect us at the usual time. We will be back with a heavy dose of physical media news, reviews, and all that stuff. So until that time, I am one of your hosts, the head honcho, the founder of Project Louder, TJ Bowser, and that is my tag team partner, the man from across the pond, the king of Salisbury, Paul Ashford. Tally ho.